South Africans, we're told, are increasingly looking to greener pastures within our country's borders in search of a better quality of life, away, I guess, from the stresses and the strains of big cities. I want to talk now to Andrea Tucker. She's a director at MortgageMe, who says so-called semigration, or moving from one part of the country to another, is going to be a major 2021 work trend. Andrea, good afternoon to you and welcome. What's behind the move, and maybe you can also tell us where people are going to?
So it's become so much more apparent over the last 10 months since we've all been working from home that you could literally work from anywhere. And that's what we learned over the course of last year. And we're not seeing any evidence that that's going to change anytime soon. And people have lived close to big city centres because traditionally that's where the work has been, that's where the money's been. And because we no longer see our colleagues face to face every day, and haven't for as long as we haven't, people are so much more open to that potentially that quality of life that they may not get in a large city like Johannesburg, for example, where I am at the moment. And they're looking for greener pastures. Maybe it's an ocean, maybe it's a view of an amazing mountain. It could be anywhere, but it doesn't have to be now the case where you live, where you work anymore.
So if this is a trend, are people too late now to catch the wave, particularly in terms of property prices?
Absolutely not. We have seen some evidence of it over the last couple of months, and we are anticipating it being a trend in 2021. If people are certain that they can continue to work remotely going forward, and if they've kind of had their fingers on the pulse when it comes to looking at smaller towns, they'll be aware of what property prices have done in those particular towns. They'll have a good idea of the supply of properties in those particular towns. And if they are serious about it, it's going to be a case of first mover advantage, because you might well have a handful of families all vying for a single property in a well sought after, safe town, for example.
So where are the favourite destinations right now?
I think I probably would have answered differently in November before beaches were closed, but there are a lot of Joburgers who have set their hearts on going to a beach destination, but may not have been able to go to the beach for the last couple of weeks, and we're not sure how long that's going to last for. But a lot of Joburgers have thought about potentially a move to Cape Town with a weekly commute up to Joburg, which puts you at the airports twice a week. There's a lot of travel involved, and it's now possible to live in Cape Town and work from Joburg. All of the little towns on the Garden route along the Western and Eastern Cape have got they've all traditionally been holiday destinations. So people might have thought about buying or building a holiday home in Knysna or Plett or East London. And it's now going to be possible, if you can find amazing schools for your kids, if that is one of your priorities, you can find amazing schools there. And basically, all you need as a young family is a decent school and decent internet connection, and you'll be able to work remotely from wherever you are.
And just finally, I would imagine the right headspace, because I have spoken to people who've made that move, and after a couple of months, they go stir crazy. They miss the hype, I'm looking for the right word, the buzz, the electricity, the energy of big cities.
Yeah. I think it is certainly a big decision, and I wouldn't encourage anyone to wake up all of a sudden next week and say, I'm moving to Jeffreys Bay. I would encourage a family to understand, or an individual, understand what their priorities are in life, understand why they may not have enjoyed living where they have, and then start the investigation process. Again, looking at property prices, looking at affordability, while constantly being aware and understanding your long-term ability to work remotely. If your office is closed at the moment and you anticipate your entire company keeping you home long-term, maybe it's a trip or two back to the office every now and then it is something you can definitely consider. But I don't think that the smaller towns that we're thinking of have seen a big boom over the last 6 months. I know interest rates have being the lowest that they are, and making this the most affordable time to take up big and long-term credit like that. Interest rates are low, and it is certainly the right time, if you have got a stable and reliable income, to start looking at that. But make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons.
And having said that, suddenly Jeffreys Bay does sound very appealing, but perhaps that's a conversation for another time. Andrea Tucker from MortgageMe, thank you very much for joining us.